My unit is called What Makes a Car Fast. You may follow me on Twitter at ALCMathGeek. A little background. I am teaching at the Alternative Learning Center. The course would be for problem solving and robotics. The grade level is 11th and 12th graders, and their ages are about 16 to 20 years old. Our driving question will be, what makes a car fast? My planning process, I used the concept map that we all created so that I knew what science, technology, engineering, and math we would use. My personal teacher goal was to increase engagement to drive learning and inquiry. The entry event would be something similar to a derby car race. I would like to find something similar to the picture where students could build on and add weights, and then they could start making initial predictions. This event would then start the conversation where we would all fill out a chart similar to the one in the blue. We would look at variables and what we could isolate and find out what makes a car fast. We would develop questions that we could test, and then I'd want to know what students already know about what makes a car fast. Some mini lessons throughout this unit would be how to calculate speed, how to create scatter plots and how to collect data, how to measure distances, slope. The slope of a track would be rise over run. And as we go through these mini lessons, I would like to encourage students to research their own formulas and information as we went along. So some pre-lab activities. The pre-lab activities would be another chart where they have to answer questions. The thing I think is most important is that student responses will be assessed by me before I would be allowing them to start their experiment. And this may require a couple of revisions, and the student responses would need to be very detailed and specific. These are the pre-lab questions that I would have students consider and write responses. Most of them are about the purpose of the experiment, what variables are being tested, what are their predictions, what do they need to make and build in order to test their further experiment, what will the test look like, what data will they be collecting, what materials will they need, were they right with their predictions, and what jobs will each student be responsible for. So then it comes to experiment time once their questions have all been accepted. They need to create a testing area, they'll need to design and build their cars, run multiple tests, describe observations, and then make their data visual in some way. Here's an example of a chart that they might fill out as they're collecting their data. There's a place for their data to go, there's a place for them to create a graph, there's a place to make observations with sentence starters like, I noticed that, I see that, I'm struck by. Then I'll ask them to make inferences. A possible explanation could be, a question I have now are all sentence starters that I'll be looking for. So then it comes to the negotiation phase 1. What did the data show? This group of students will discuss what their data showed them, and they're going to make claims. They might need to have more tests done if their data wasn't showing any concrete claims. And I would want the students to create a PowerPoint explaining everything they've done up to this point, including their final claims. Then negotiation phase 2 is kind of like getting a second opinion. We need to ask other people what they think to make sure that our thinking is legit. So the students would share their PowerPoint presentations displaying their projects and their results, and then ask for the audience's thoughts and see if they need to make changes to their thinking. Then in negotiation phase 3, we're going to ask the experts. We're going to go research what other people who have done similar tests have found and see if our results are similar to when experts do it. Students are going to write a document or create a visual comparing their work with the work of experts. And so then they're going to think individually and think, what do I think? They're going to think about the results and their predictions. They're going to think about how the lab went, and then just any positive or negative opinions of the whole experience. Then I want the groups to simulate or publish their results, and they're going to create a product, and they're going to explain all of the steps we've done throughout this entire unit and hope to inform other people doing this. It might be a PowerPoint, it might be a brochure, it could be a commercial, it could be an infomercial. That would all depend on the group.